All right, we'll go ahead and get started. It's 2 o'clock. I'll call to order the special meeting of the Board of Commissioners. We have a single item on the agenda, which is discuss, debate, and ultimately select 2 by ballot for consideration for Monday for interview and then selection on Monday for appointment. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So just as a point of clarity, by rule, we are required, or our rule is that we select by ballot for consideration. It's a public record. Every board member, including me, will rank the candidates after we have discussion. From the most preferred, which is a 5, down to the least preferred, which is a 1. The top 2 vote getters will be selected for the final interview on Monday. By statute or law, you can rank anywhere from 1 candidate to all 5. You do not have to rank, and I revalidated this with Charlie, you do not have to rank all 5. You can, if you want to do 1, 2, 3, whatever. It's the prerogative of the individual board member to use their vote as they see fit. So with that, I think we should all say thank you to the 5 candidates that stepped forward, submitted their application. Personally, haven't been through it and gone through the appointment process back in 2014. I know the decision that entails, because you're making a commitment. You're making a commitment to serve, and that in and of itself, the fact that you're willing to serve for whatever reasons is to be applauded. And on behalf of the board, I thank all 5 for submitting application and be willing to serve. I actually thank the 2 that lived outside the city that were willing to serve for Waxhaw too. I mean, I think that shows the extent of our reach as a community and the interest in our community. So that's all good as well. So we are now at the point of discussing and deliberating the candidates. So I will, who wants to start? Okay.
I have no real concerns about any of the candidates who have submitted their application, other than to say that they are members of the town of Waxhaw and have participated in some form or another through service on the board or volunteering in the community. And it is apparent through their application and information that they have submitted that they are concerned about the welfare and well-being of the town as a whole. I appreciate their applications. I appreciate their willingness to serve. I thank them for submitting the application, and I think that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
I would second what Mayor Pro Tem McMillon said. I think what I'm looking for most, because this is a short period of time that they will be serving, I'm looking for someone who has a great deal of experience and knowledge already with the town and how a board functions. I'm also looking for someone that can add a little bit more diversity to the board, can add some a more unique perspective, and someone who's independent.
Okay. Commissioner Burns?
I just want to thank everyone, the 5 candidates, or even the 7 candidates that applied. I think that shows that you do care about the town, care about the citizens, moving the town forward in the right way. and it's appreciated by the board. I've looked over all of the resumes and here to discuss and make a decision.
Commissioner Lee, do you have anything you want to say?
Excuse me. I second what Commissioner Burns and the Mayor Pro Tem have said, that we thank everyone for applying, that we need someone who is concerned for the town, wants to do good, do right by the town, and that we want just to find the person who's going to do the best that they can.
Okay, so I'll be the analytical one and dive deep. I started with knowledge of the town and looked at different records as to how long they've been here, what have they been doing, et cetera. And we have a wide range there. I'm going to be very blunt and direct. I did call Mr. Warner and tell him personally that I have a difficult time, since he was not elected the last time, that it would be hard to appoint him. But that's my personal opinion on him. I know Jim from the planning board and from on the board, but where that landed, I shared that with him, that I personally would have a difficult time putting him as one or two. I went through the various experiences. You go from Candace and Pedro, both involved in the HOA. One has Board of Adjustment experience on Pedro. Both are involved in school. Candace is a project exec and budget experience. You go to Bob Morgan and the planning board and the homeowners association and the attorney level. With no disrespect to Michael, he's been here a very short period of time, so it was difficult for him to rise. Although, if he had applied and we were sitting in Florida, he had a good set of experiences from where he came from. I think I also compared and contrasted the awareness of things like community policies, community activities, finance, et cetera, and you can tell from the records from what was submitted, those that chose to submit a resume a little bit more from terms of awareness and finance, et cetera. So I chose an analytical approach in going through and looking at this. With all due respect to your comment about board dynamics, the expectation is whoever gets appointed, I don't care who, comes on and acts per the council manager form of government, the ethics policy that the town has and the state has, and we hold them accountable to that. The election season is going to provide enough drama in and of itself. So we've got business to do. We've got a lot of business to do in the next 8 to 10 meetings before the election. So I'm assuming we're all going to police ourselves and hold ourselves accountable for that. So that's the analysis I did. I don't know if people want to share anything else about individuals, or if they want to go straight to a vote and get on with it. I have no problem of being transparent about it. I know the top three and candidates, and I know where I am on that. I don't know how you guys want to do it. If you want to put it on the ballot, have Melody read it, I'm game. Either way. When I added up knowledge, experience, community awareness, finance, et cetera, and the complete packages of submittals, my two top ones were Candace and Bob Morgan with Pedro right there with them. But that's how I came in with them. So I don't have any problem sharing that with everybody. It's not a criticism of anybody. Believe me, having sat out there being critiqued, but the last time when there were 17 of us getting critiqued, I found it beneficial to hear from the board just how they were thinking, and I really appreciated appreciated that when they shared what they saw and what they didn't see. So that's where I come in on it. So Commissioner Burns?
I also have looked at all 5 candidates and reviewed thoroughly and read over their material 2 or 3 times. And my top 2, and I don't mind saying, would be Robert and Candace. And the reasoning, one issue, both of those gave us what we asked for, a resume and a very clear definition of why. I did have one problem, even though I chose him as one of my top, was Robert was, I thought in his letter, he leaned toward the former seat held by Fred Burrell in that the compliments, and that's fine if that's the way he feels, but that's not why we're filling this seat. We're filling this seat for the person that is the most qualified, not because of another person. But I did, after looking at everything, I did make him one of my top 2. And Candace, she had the qualifications and some experience that we need in things that we're looking at in the next 8 to 10 meetings. So that's where I am.
Well, for me, I would say my top choice is Bob Morgan, mainly because he has been the chair of the planning board, is very, understands how boards function. He's very familiar with our comprehensive plan, our UDO, which are all important topics that we'll be taking on coming up. I've watched him perform at his board meetings. I've always been very impressed by how he handles himself and appears very unbiased and just really thoughtful in how he approaches everything. I don't have the same opinion as the mayor as far as Jim Warner goes, mainly because he is someone that has already had experience on the board, and since like I said, it's a short period of time, there's not a long time to learn, that he would be somebody good to fill the position temporarily. I'm also impressed by Pedro's background. I know he's been serving on the Board of Adjustment, and he's been a police officer and a veteran. I think those are all upstanding qualities. I hope that Michael Plock continues to seek opportunities to serve, but I agree that he probably doesn't have the experience or knowledge of the town right now to serve in this capacity. And Candace DeFinis has impressive volunteer experience, but just not quite the board experience that I'm looking for.
You have anything you want to say? Yeah.
No.
You have anything?
Ready to go to ballots?
Everybody ready to go to ballot then? So here's how it works. You put, as I said, rank and order of preference. You can go 1. You can vote for all 5. We give them to Melody. Melody will total them up, and she'll tell us what the 2 highest, the total highest. And per Charlie, I will sit and watch you, so you know. That would be 25. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So, okay? get a hold of Mr. Morgan, but Candace DeFinis and Bob Morgan are the top two vote getters. And so 2 o'clock on Monday, we will conduct the interviews. Each candidate has the opportunity to give an opening speech, and then we will interview with appropriate questions. Hopefully, they're good questions, so I'll take the to-do to let Bob know, and then if you would send a note to both of them, just with the address and everything at the time, and we'll go from there. So any further, and you'll type all that up, and that'll be in the minutes for the meeting. And with that,
Motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn. All those in favor?